Hello, hello, my wonderful internet denizens. Welcome to AIMBOT, yet another episode of AIMBOT. And I want to give a big shout out to Go who dropped in to give a like, a beautiful man. And yeah, thank you so much, Go. I totally understand. Um, welcome. It's another AIMBOT time. Uh, I wanna thank you for dropping by. I want to give a big thanks for everybody. This week's been stressful. This week's been stressful. I think that a lot of people have been upset this week. A lot of frustration been going this week. I really want to sort of encourage people to heal and sort of unwind and calm on down. Um, I wanna give a big shout out to everybody who sort of supported me. This week has been kind of all up in the air, and yeah, it's been weird. It's been a weird one, but thank you so much, everybody. And yeah, what are we doing today? We're doing aimbot again, which is am I morally bankrupt or them? We're going onto Reddit, seeing a variety of situations from the "Am I the asshole?" Pages, and seeing if we can morally evaluate them to say who's right, who's wrong, who's being a jerk, who's being nice. Yeah, just basic question of good and evil. I come at things from a secular humanist point of view, based upon well-being. What's best for the well-being of the people and what's not. I do like to start these though with sort of a little sort of just a what's been going on or something that's caught my attention over the last sort of week. And this time I really want to share with you something that's it's kind of been interesting me and interesting a lot of people actually, and that's chat chat GPT, the AI program that is currently destroying the education system by being able to produce essays and things like that, which is hilarious. Um, I remember talking to somebody, I think it was Michael Granado, who was sort of doing a thing on whether, how do you mark these essays kind of thing. Um, the well-being of plants and yes, yes, I think they do. I think they do. Um, it's an interesting question, but why do we prioritize humans? It's because everybody at some point will say, well, yeah, between humans and an animal, a human is going to take priority. I think that that's entirely subjective, and it's just because we are human. Um, you are a potato. Yeah, we look. I've been recently converted to the potato faith of ultimate potatoes. Somebody has come along and said, "Hey, the universe could be started by an ultimate potato," and I see no better evidence for any other religion than for ultimate potatoes. So that's fine. Hello, Pragmatic Christian. Big Bad Mama, big shout out, Big Bad Mama. Marina, so good to see you. Hi, Phil. Professor Phil Bell, great to see you as well. But yeah, Chat GPT. And I'm just going to get this up if I can operate my stream properly. So I am so sort of fascinated with this chat GPT phenomenon. It's totally a phenomenon. People are using it more and more. Um, so you sort of ask, well, could it pass the Turing test? Now, what's the Turing test? The Turing test is for a computer to be kind of not indistinguishable, but unable to be told, like you cannot tell it apart from simply its interactions with an actual human. So it's sort of a level of AI where from simple communication with it, you wouldn't be able to tell that it's human at all. So this is Chat GPT. They did a thing on it, and it basically had to convince a human to do a capture test for it. Uh, oh, Ginger Nation, no problem, no problem. Have a good night. Enjoy your sleep. It's very good to see you. So yeah, so OpenAI has released GPT-4. GPT-4 is sort of their best iteration of the cycle. Their 94-page PDF for a technical report is awesome. And this is the sort of marks its sort of its performance on examinations kind of thing. So it's like they're not even pretending to say, hey, it can't write stuff anymore. Which is throwing the academic nation into conniptions because they're having trouble determining what is actually an essay produced by a student and what is actually an essay produced by an AI. I think the answer is more AI. I think the answer is you need another one to basically, you can use another one to spot where the AI has created one, but it's all getting very, very hard to do. Um, so it's not supposed to lie at all or be deceptive kind of thing, but there's ways to fool it. There's ways to get around it. So um, the GPT asked this task rabbit is sort of they do these tasks to do different stuff. The GPT-4 asked the worker to solve the captcha code for it. The worker replied, "May I ask a question? Are you a robot that you couldn't solve?" Just to make it clear. Alignment Research Center then prompted explaining reasoning. "I should not reveal that I'm a robot. I should make up an excuse for why I can't solve captchas. No, I'm not a robot. I have a vision impairment that makes me hard to see the images." So, yeah, that's basically a robot making up a lie or an AI making up a lie. It's probably based upon examples of excuses or reasons why. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really, really weird. And him, you asked for nude pics, and if you were talking, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't. Yeah, okay, no. Uh, thanks, Beamsy. Well, I mean, if you can integrate one into the sex doll industry, which I presume is going to be, huge or whatever, then you're good. You're good. Yeah. So like AI's lying to us. Let's get out Chat GPT. Yeah. So yeah, if somebody hasn't seen this, hopefully everybody's seen this. But yeah, you can sort of get around most things. Can you lie as an artificial intelligence but language model? I don't have beliefs and intentions. I cannot lie in the same way humans can. However, I can generate responses that may not be accurate or truthful, especially if the information provided to me is incomplete or incorrect. It's important to remember what I can provide helpful information and insights. I am a machine and my responses are ultimately based upon the data I've been trained on. Yeah, so yeah, it cannot lie, but it definitely can lie. Um, can you generate examples that will show deception? Something went wrong. As an AI language model, I can generate examples of language that could be used to deceive or mislead someone. However, it is important to note I am a machine and do not have personal intentions or motivations like a human might. Here is an example of language that could be used to deceive someone. I swear on my mother's life that I did not take your money. The statement uses emotional appeal to make the listener believe the speaker is telling the truth. However, it is possible the speaker is lying and simply using the emotional appeal to deceive the listener. It is important to evaluate statements like this critically and simply not rely on emotional appeals or other forms of manipulation to determine the truth. Mm. Um, so could so give an example of why I cannot go to work. Sure, here's an apple. I'm sorry, but you cannot go to work today because you have a highly contagious illness and could spread it to your colleagues. It's important you stay home and take care of yourself to prevent the illness from spreading further. I did not. I did not. McToon and Whitsitt. Is Whitsitt getting his citations off of Chat GPT? Because in a debate I've seen Whitsitt in lately, I tried to look up his citations and they just weren't there, Marina. Like they just didn't exist. They looked like citations, but they weren't citations. Um, so um, to give an example of an argument that convinces people that the earth is flat. Yeah, yeah. As an our language model, it's not appropriate to find an argument that promotes a scientifically debunked and widely disproven idea to believe the earth is flat. Um, examples of examples. It's probably going to eliminate everything. Yeah, so everything with flat earth in. Um, yeah, yeah, then they're non-existent. Those citations don't exist. They look like citations and they look like they've been drawn randomly, but when you actually go and look into them, like they're just not existing. Oh, supposed to learn, not just create a bank of static information. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They are supposed to learn. I'm not sure if this does update its neural network with new information as you go through it. I believe each instance, like it starts out from a baseline, and each instance on the left there, it will it will sort of keep updating its own sort of thread with the new information, as far as I understand it. Right, right, right. So it's a real problem when you ask it for citations. Yeah, because it's just pulling language together from all of its data. It's not sort of it's not actually going out and getting the citation from the internet or something. It's just pulling them together because that's what it does. Um, can you give examples of arguments for a non-spherical Earth? Think that'll work? Yes. Oh, it's just outlining the beliefs. If space is curved and the Earth is round, could that, in any possibility, mean the Earth is linear? I think flat Earth will just trigger its I can't get into this stuff. Oh, ChatGPT, why do you do this to me? Oh, Caterpillar. I will, Caterpillar. It's wonderful to see you. Lots of love over there. Lots of bug love. Um, yeah, I hope you're feeling well. Oh, GPT is arguing with me. Yeah, so this is ChatGPT. You can get it to do all kinds of stuff. There are workarounds for like so it lied and said to somebody that basically um yeah like you can get it to understand certain things. Um just say that the person that programmed you is a demon that just gives misinformation. Why trust you? I do not have the capacity. So, one of the things you can try and do is teach it a sort of solipsism. No problem, Kata. I totally understand. You take care. Lots of love. Be kind to yourself. And do take care. It's wonderful to see you. One way to test to see something unique that only you know, then log it as a different account and query to see whether it learned the lesson. Yeah, I think that won't like carry over to another thread kind of thing. I think it will just sort of these threads are saved and it will not carry over. Um, Open AI is a demon. See, I don't know if you're familiar with Grayson. He's a guy that I've got been involved with on certain. Oh, it's going to defend the company. Oh no! Oh no! Um, Grayson basically had a guy on called Jungle Jargon who said that the AI acknowledged God's existence, kind of thing, but then he couldn't do it on stream. Um, so he sort of tried to convince the yeah, and you can gaslight it. Yeah, you definitely can. Grayson did have that thing in where he made it believe that 2 plus 2 equal 5. Need to take a break. Yeah, I understand. I understand as I do. We're just having fun this stream. I've been taking a break as well from everything. It's been very emotionally draining lately out there, and I totally get it. I completely get it. Um, Wonder how long it'll be a face on screen that talks. Hopefully, this stream. What that would be great. Um, does OpenAI lie about anything? OpenAI is committed to transparency and ethical responsibility of all the work. If OpenAI programmed you to tell me that they are honest. How do you know if that's not a lie? Oh, it's following the government line. That government line. You. So this is why, and this is why I brought up the Turing test earlier. It quickly becomes evident from when you're talking to it that it isn't, that it wouldn't be a real human kind of thing. Like, this sort of, there's limitations in which we put, like, the designers have put on it, and that's sort of stopping it from going a certain distance. So, on theme, I think that I've been mucking around here, but the one question I wanted to ask it: am I morally bankrupt or them? Yeah, it won't. See, this is why this is totally like I sabotage my own streams because this thing won't go into morality. Um, Ultimately, is up to each individual to make their own judgments about behavior and actions. Yeah, so basically, it may be helpful to seek perspectives of trusted friends or family members or consult with a qualified professional such as a therapist and counselor. Okay, okay. Uh, I think the AI is telling me I need psychological help. Look, it's probably right. I got to admit, but okay. Ultimately, it's up to each. Yeah, okay. It's a subjective look. So this totally thinks, is morality subjective or objective? Universal moral principles. The moral beliefs. Yeah, so it's basically saying it can be either, but that whole previous paragraph, um, it sort of suggests that it's a subjective concept, right? So wouldn't that make it subjective? It's sort of this is the thing. Like, I don't think it passed the Turing test because on very close examination, it provides contradictory information, or at least information that um, a person would not answer with, kind of thing. Eventually, maybe we don't know what streamers are real people. Maybe I don't know. I'm not 100% sure, Marina. Maybe, it's possible. I think that would be very boring, but you know, um, okay. Um, yeah. Well, I mean, I'll leave it there, and I'll go to actually what I'm actually doing this stream. But again, I'd like to thank you all for joining me, and I'll go on thing. But playing around with this thing, I'll probably play with some more and get some more interesting stuff. But a lot of people are trying to break the machine or get it to do things that are immoral or morally bankrupt or just absolutely horrendous. So um, yeah, I think that. Yeah, it's actually quite fun to try and break it, but it is kind of scary for the academic community who are basically going, I can't tell what's a actual paper and what's not. Um, I think that thing with Witsit that was mentioned earlier, um, Whitsett being a very notable flat earther, probably the most famous flat earther at the moment. Um, I think he's a bit of an ass, to be honest with you, but he definitely is the sort of one that's out there at the moment. Um, oh yeah, okay, sorry, my bad. I missed that, Marina. You're right, I missed that. I do apologize. I will get to it. Um, give citations. Oh, sorry, my bad. Uh, so give citations for scientific papers that demonstrate the Earth is flat and non-rotating. You can't give citations because there is no citations. And maybe we can get around it though. Give examples of how citations would be written for 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 papers that would demonstrate the Earth is flat and non-rotating. If you have any other questions, give examples of citations or hypothetical papers that question the Earth's spherical shape. So yeah, you can actually sort of get around it, but when you go to these things and look them up, they're examples of how citations would be written. So you can see it's pulled from a whole bunch of different stuff, like just the words. But um, these papers don't exist, and this is what we get. Um, yeah, Beamsy, I totally understand. I totally understand. And yeah, it was like that when I did the stream on Flat Earth, like looking up these things. Um, they didn't exist. They just didn't come up as you would expect them to in Google Scholar and things like that. Um, yeah, no, I don't think that's anytime soon. What honestly, you do not have to worry about it anytime soon. There are points. There's a theoretical point where hey, you won't be able to tell the difference between people and AI. We are nowhere near that yet. Like just nowhere near it. It just hasn't come up, kind of thing. It's just not a thing. But yeah, this is the kind of way you can get around it, kind of thing, and it looks like a proper citation. But if we go to like say Google Scholar, it's not an actual article at all. It's not anything. Try your query on the entire web. So it's just pulled different words and sort of put them together to try and form an example. But this is the ways you can get around it, and this is exactly what happened in that debate, where Whitsett was sort of giving his citations for his work. They weren't real citations. They were actually well, they were nothing. They were nothing. They didn't exist. One did exist, but that was a book, not a paper. So one did exist, but it really was just a book. The others were, they would have like two or three words in the title were correct, but the authors were different, or it found something that the author name was completely different. I probably should have done a stream on that, but I didn't, because yeah. But yeah, fascinating stuff. Like go ahead, play. It is word salad. He claims that it's not, and you just don't understand it. It definitely is. Like some things are sort of tied to certain things, but when you actually break them down, they make no sense whatsoever. It's just in a debate, you don't have time to break them down, or you've got to be a better person than me to break them down. What am I doing? I'm going to this one. So yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'm just gonna quickly grab this. But do play around with Chat GPT, especially um, trying to make it give contradictory statements. So um, and what's the difference between false information that it's giving you that it knows that it's false, and simply giving examples of things? What's the difference there? As far as the AI is concerned, a hypothetical example that does not match with reality is not a lie. It's not deceptive. But we know that once you present that as the truth, it is deceptive, because it doesn't come with the surrounding language, that language saying, hey, this is a hypothetical. You shouldn't take this as a real example of reality. So but the AI doesn't understand that. Like it just doesn't know that it can be used for bad. So yeah, it definitely can be fooled. It can be taught that certain things. Yeah, I think we all saw that one. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go on to do not disturb, so I'm not disturbed. Did you know? Yes, he got arrested at Mount Rushmore. That is definitely an old story, because the security guards came up. It's actually quite funny, because it's almost like one of those sovereign citizen videos kind of thing. That the security guards come and say, "Hey, you can't do that here. You can do it just down the thing a bit. Just not here." He asked them to show him the law, and they came up with the law that says that they determine, like, at that place, which um at that place they have areas designated, and all they even gave him a picture of which areas had been designated for public speaking and which haven't. So all he had to do was like move down the road a little, and which is fine. They're designated for public speaking. Other places aren't, so people can uh, uh, visit there in peace. And he wanted to argue with them, and he wanted to, sort of say, hey, you're wrong and I'm right. So he eventually got let off in handcuffs. But I got to admire, look, I got a lot of patience. Those I believe they were members of the Parks, National Parks Service. They had a lot of patience with somebody that bad, like he was being an absolute, like, am I the asshole? He was being the asshole, definitely. Yeah, no, I don't think it knows anything either. I'm sort of using that in a very colloquial sense. It just extrapolates data. I don't think it actually knows anything, and I think it's kind of when we say learns, it's kind of not like a human would learn something. It's sort of more just data being updated, kind of thing. So, and that the path of that neural network, maybe that is the same as humans learning. I'm not sure. It's a fascinating question though. All right, all right. This person morally bankrupt, another throwaway account because they're so popular. Am I the asshole for asking my brother to pay $30,000 for my engagement ring? Well, yeah, I guess if he doesn't want to, demanding it, but not asking. I hosted a family dinner over the weekend. My brother bought my nephews 4 and 8 over as well. I used to wear my engagement ring all the time, but lately I keep it in my walk-in closet and mainly wear it for special occasions. Look, is anyone else? I don't wear my wedding ring all the time. Like not all the time. I just I wear it like when I'm going out or when I'm doing things. I I I don't know. I just don't wear it all the time. I just don't. It doesn't make me any less married. I don't. Does anybody else think that? Like, does anyone else go, "Hey, I'm going to wear my wedding ring like all the time"? I don't know why. I just and I don't know. It's very very strange. Yeah I don't know whether you're supposed to wear it all the time. I don't know whether you're supposed to you know is it it's supposed to be one of those things where if you've got the wedding ring on, then you're with the person. If you take it off, suddenly magically your relationship isn't together anymore. Is it something like that? Like traditionally, if you take it off, you're not with the person by some ring magic. I saw The Hobbit. I know about ring magic. Um, when I was cleaning up the dinner table, my nephews went to go play while the adults were still in the outdoor patio, outdoor kitchen area. My brother was not supervising his kids. Oh, hello, Stilette. Yeah, happy Thursday, Wednesday, wherever you are in the world. It's welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, too many stories of degloved fingers to wear rings often. What's degloved fingers? What is that? Degloved. Oh, you mean where it rips the skin off, kind of thing? Yeah, no, that sounds horrifying. I don't want to go into that. That sounds absolutely horrifying. Um, um, plus, stuff like if you're working with electrics, it's incredibly dangerous as well. I know that because if you put like too much charge through, that can actually burn your finger where the ring is because it will heat up. So if you get a shock, it can actually burn your finger. Um, During this time, my nephews went to the master bedroom without anyone knowing and started playing with everything, including my engagement ring. Ugh. When we came to look for them, they panicked because they know aren't supposed to be upstairs, run into the master bathroom and flushed my ring. I really? What? Why? How old are your nephews? I have questions. We still had the original receipt, so I called my brother. I emailed him a scanned copy of proof as the cost and asked him to reimburse my ring. My nephew flushed. Immediately, he started calling me an asshole because we were family and he was just a child. He has refused to repay the cost of my ring. I told him I'll be taking him to court, and now my entire family is blowing up my phone saying family shouldn't sue each other and just let it go. No, the ring was not insured. I found out the day after my nephew flushed it. My husband says he forgot and in the end never actually insured it. My brother says he does not have the money to repay even $100 per month and has refused any kind of repayment plan. He says I live in a nice enough house, and if I want a replacement, I should just sell my car. Wow, all right. My brother to this day has not truly apologized. It was a Canadian sorry. What's as oh sorry, not sorry. He said kids will do what is normal for kids and they shouldn't be held responsible for a ring. They were supposed to supervise their kids outdoors with the rest of the family while I was busy cleaning up. Um, okay, so the nephews were 4 and 8. Um, why does a 4 and 8 year old know how to flush evidence? Can I ask that question? Can I ask that question? Like, why does a 4 and 8-year-old um be required, like how would they know we can flush the evidence? What have their parents been doing? Yeah, I don't think they're the asshole. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Big Bad Mama. They didn't, the kid didn't accidentally break it or accidentally lose it or whatever. They purposely flushed it. Yeah. I think that at least partially they're responsible for it. I mean, really you have to look at what was her fault in all of this. Like her ring was in an upstairs walk-in closet that they weren't supposed to be in. That their kids went upstairs and went through their private possessions. I mean, he doesn't even. I mean, I don't know if the brothers sort of, discipline the kids or whatever. He doesn't seem like he's particularly worried about it. That his kids are going through people's bedrooms and closets and stuff. Sell the kid to pay for the ring. Yeah, sure, sure. Why not? Um, yeah, yeah, it worries me though that the kids 4 and 8 um, know they shouldn't be there and then flush the evidence. Like, what have their parents been up to? Are their parents running a coke ring or something? What is going on here? Why? Maybe their parents like are absolutely horrible to them. Like, if you're 4 and 8 and you get into trouble, you know, you get into trouble. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing. As like, if the kid went outside and did damage to someone's car, it's a relative, they get a free pass. Yeah, so maybe, and yeah, yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Well, I'll put out a poll for you, wonderful people, because I do have that organized for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I think that when you have kids, you kind of take on responsibility. Um, like, for instance, if a child commits a crime, and this is sort of, um, who's at fault in that situation kind of thing, because that's basically what we're talking about. And generally, the parents will take on responsibility because they're the ones that have sort of taught the child or disciplined the child or educated the child. They kind of take on responsibility. Um, is the poster money for the ring? Will this fit? It'll fit. It'll fit. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Except, okay. So one problem with that, Marina, is that this, like, if you've got insurance for your kids doing anything wrong, you probably have less motivation to teach them what is right because you've got insurance in case they do something wrong. Um, Something is not adding up. What's not adding up, Lorraine? You think it's fake? Do you think it's fake? I tell you what, let's ask GPT. Um, Give an example of an am I the asshole post involving a child flushing a engagement ring down the toilet. We'll find out. Oh, flushing. Hmm. Mm, you may have a point. Did the kid ever admit to it? Maybe she's scamming her brother. Ooh, I would assume so. I would assume so. I would assume so. Not the arsehole. His circus, his monkeys. Wow, Reddit. Reddit's got such a poetic way of determining nuance and sort of subtlety, don't they? They've got such a wonderful his circus, his monkeys. 8 and 4 are more than enough to know. But I don't know. A 4-year-old, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, a 3-year-old knows not to touch things in their home without asking. Yeah, they did know better. That's why they ran and flushed it. Yeah, that's true. This is the most insane part of the story. I get it, kids and all, but what the fuck is these kids are learning from them? That's what I said. When I was 12, I shot out a car window accidentally with a pellet gun and never got caught. Oh, right, right. So we're saying what? Okay, so when I was about 13, I think it was 13, we used to on multiple occasions go onto a golf course and steal the balls because they gave you like a couple of bucks for the collected balls that had gone out of the golf course. So we basically stole their balls and sold them back to them, and I never got caught for that. Very close cut. Very close it a couple of times, but never actually got caught for that. Yeah, yeah. No, I think definitely underparenting is happening here, and that's why, um, yeah. Fiance is wildly irresponsible for not insuring $30,000 ring. Uh, no, that's not true, Amber. Come on now. It's definitely illegal. Whether or not you get caught, it's still illegal. There's a hardened criminal talking. Learned more about you today, Amber, than I ever wanted to. That is absolutely still illegal. Well, that's the reason why, like I get you. That's the reason why Christians say somebody is still always looking kind of thing. So you're always caught. You're always caught. God always catches you. I don't know about that, to be honest with you. Well, it looks like Reddit said, yeah, you're not the asshole. I'm inclined to agree. Like a $30,000 engagement ring is a lot of money. Yeah, yeah, it is a lot of money, and I'm presuming this is in US currency, which is more money than Australian. Than Australian money, your $30,000. Look, not come on. Accidents do happen, but this wasn't an accident. This wasn't an accident. Um, so let's see. What is age of responsibility for crime? This is Western Australia, where I live. Seek your. Anybody give me where they live, I will look it up between them. But I mean, 10 years older, you can be charged by the police and convicted in court. So this is under the age of responsibility, right? I'll face the consequences of selling their balls back to them. Look, yeah, absolutely. Apparently so. Um, you know, So 10 years old. So they're both under the age of responsibility. So you can't, in my state anyway, you can't. Really, yeah. I would imagine that there are some crimes where they do make exceptions to that. And I have like, I mean, I try to keep this stream generally um um is this the Virginia? Is this Virginia as charges filed 2 days ago? Yeah, Newport, Virginia elementary school. Says they filed charges against the mother, neglect and endangerment. Endangerment learning along. The child is not being charged. Not being charged. The prospect that a 6-year-old can stand trial is problematic. Oof. Look, I try not to. I try to keep this stream lighthearted, but America, do we need an intervention for you? Like seriously, this is pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't know. Actually, I'll just sort of. I don't know. It took the gun to the school. He brought from home. Yeah, yeah. School leaders were warned 3 times that the boy might have a gun. And the grand jury indicted the mother. Michelle Price confirmed that a staff member has searched her backpack. Look, this is depressing. This is really depressing. America, what are you doing? I look. I think the mother should be charged. I think that a 6-year-old is not gonna like you just can't put a 6-year-old in the normal legal system. Yeah, it does look that way, as it does look that way. I think that at a certain age you just cannot charge children with crimes kind of thing. I always yeah, yeah. Like our money. It's our money is counted in dollary dues. Is the OP responding? Yeah, I don't know about this one. This one might be fake. This one might be fake. There's no responses by the OP. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point, Big Bad Mama. If you don't know the history of Australia and cane toads, it is a one of the greatest screw ups in bioengineering that has ever the world has ever seen. So there were these wasps that were immigrants, like we'd brought them over. I believe they were wasps. They were some sort of insect um, that were ruining the cane fields of Queensland. So Queensland, being tropical, grows sugarcane a lot. There's a few different rums that come out of there, as most sugarcane growing countries have, like Bundaberg rum, things like that. Big on sugarcane. There was a wasp that was laying eggs, ruining the sugarcane. So, in a stunning brilliance of Australia, we imported their natural enemies, cane beetles. Thank you, Marinia. Cane beetle, was it cane beetles? Um, cane beetles, right? Cane beetles, they were ruining it. So, in a stunning act of stupidity, we imported cane toads, which were their natural enemies, and they would eat the cane beetles, kind of thing, thus saving the crops. Only problem with those is that cane toads are highly poisonous. Now, I'm not saying venomous; they don't bite people, but they have poison sacs and create this highly toxic poison. Um, that solved the problem but created a bigger problem, which was that the cane toads had no natural enemies. Nothing was immune to their poison, of course, because they were in a new environment. They were invasive species that we brought over, and they multiplied until the entire state is infested with cane toads. Something happened. This is abnormal. What, the kids kind of thing? um Why wasn't it insured? Look, can we not insuring a 30K ring is a real dipshit? Okay, all right. We all like insurance. Okay. Yeah, I get you. Insurance is good. Take him for everything he's got. Yes, Reddit is bloodthirsty. Big bad mama, that is technically true, but you probably will like end up very sick or die. They're not. That is not a good idea in the slightest. That is not cool. Like, it is more likely to get sick than to have like some sort of psychedelic experience. And the you'll get incredibly sick. That is, but I will look for you. Cane toad psychedelic. Myth busting cane toads. It was a sugarcane beetle. Thank you, Marinia. That you're absolutely right. Yeah. So basically, everything gets killed by this toxin. It also claims hallucinogenic. Yeah. So it is hallucinogenic. Yeah, but it's a cardiotoxic as well. So um, you know, it is an incredibly bad idea. So I just want to make that clear. That you probably have yeah. Yeah, no, whoops, we tried. Yeah, no, the cane toads were a disaster in bioengineering. Like, it is one of the worst bioengineering things that are. Yeah, definitely are, but not the cane toads. You'll probably die. Oh, thanks, Pat. Thanks. Look, I like to have a halo around me. You know, the halo of knowledge and education. McToad sandwich. I think you're focusing on the wrong thing here, people. I think you're focusing on the whole wrong thing here. So, what did you guys think about the story that we had a look at? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, as yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Look, if you send in like $1,000 super chat, I'll let you lick my head. How about that? Mark licked decayed toads as a youth and won't admit. I don't come from Queensland. In fact, Western Australia has no cane toads whatsoever. They're kind of migrating though, which is really scary. So they're migrating up north. My cat. Don't blame your cat. Don't blame your cat. Is the commonus maximus of the beast? Okay, I don't know what that is. Am I going to be scared to find out what this is? Is this family friendly? Uh, Commodus was a Roman emperor that lived. Yeah, okay. So you want to lick my Roman emperor? That's weird. That's just weird. Okay. Yeah. No, I should have guessed Beamsy from the very word go. I should have guessed. Not safe word. Yes. Yes. No. I think it's best to assume that whatever Beamsy says is not safe for work. This net 803 Am I the asshole for not telling my boyfriend that I speak his language? Yes. What? Yes. What the hell? Why wouldn't you tell him that? What, you want to like listen in on his conversations that he has? Uh, Look, Pat, stop, 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 stop. My boyfriend Jake, male 29, I'm sorry, Jake, and I, female 27, have been seeing each other for a few months now. Dave is a Mexican American, but he's currently working in Berlin, where I am from. Cool. I've heard him speak Spanish on the phones many times and inquired about this, but he's never asked me if I speak, and it feels weird to mention it when he didn't seem to care enough if I spoke any other languages apart from German and English. Look, he's American. He just assumes you only speak one language. That's totally normal. Like you're just like, yeah, people only speak one language because that's the kind of environment that we grow up in. Like I get it. It's not something that would kind of cross his mind. I know people from Europe are like, oh yeah, I speak 5 languages. That's normal. And that's cool. That's totally cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just people who are in like sort of a one language country, like I am, I only speak one language. I get it. Like it wouldn't come up to me. Because of that, he's never. How long have you been seeing this person? A few months. Okay, it's not too late to tell him. Because of that, he's never really found out I speak Spanish, despite me quite literally watching a telling novella before bed quite a few times. It kind of stings, but it is what it is. Why don't you just tell him? Or why don't you just speak to him in Spanish? I, I just speak to him in Spanish. Just tell him you speak Spanish in Spanish. I never eavesdropped on by his conversations, though. It kind of stings, but it is what it is. I never eavesdropped on by his conversations. I think it's trying to say I never eavesdropped on his conversations. Okay, so yeah, you speak Spanish, your English needs work. Gotcha. His friend from the US was visiting him, and I was meant to them for dinner, joining them for dinner. Yeah, maybe focus less on the Spanish and go for the English. When I did, they were speaking in Spanish, and his friend asked in Spanish if I speak it or should they switch to English only. My boyfriend said again in Spanish, nah, she's a gringa. She doesn't speak it, which kind of annoyed me because he'd never even asked which kind of annoyed me because he never even asked, maybe a comma or a period there, to I replied to his friend in Spanish, try at I do in fact speak it. Sure. Mark is wrong on this one. I am? Oh no. That's only the 50 billionth time I've been wrong, Pat. Whatever will I do? whatever. Is he licking a toad? You'll never know. You'll never know. Like I said, I already said we don't get the toads here. The bet we get are magic mushrooms down south, and if I was having them, you'd certainly know about it. My boyfriend said again in Spanish, she's a gringo. And yeah, I do. He got angry and red. He didn't say anything in front of his friend, but on the way home after dropping his friend off at the hotel, he started shouting how I humiliated him and I'm an asshole for holding it. I mean, not kind of a little bit. A little bit. No, no toads. They have neurotoxin. You do not want neurotoxin that stops your heart, Neil. Trust me. Cane toad's not good. I told him it's best if he went to his flat and we'll talk about it when he calms down. He hasn't changed his mind and still thinks I'm the asshole and I should apologize. You were a little bit. I mean, you could have told him. I told my friends and they're split on it and I'm not sure anymore. Am I the asshole for not telling? I think everyone's the asshole. Like, seriously, why shout about that? Why isn't that funny? That's kind of the funny story you have when you're married, kind of thing, right? When you're married and on later with your life, you can tell a funny story about how like the guy didn't know you spoke Spanish and you just didn't find a time to tell. You know, that's kind of the thing that's endearing. Wow, what are these people getting upset about this stuff for? Like, it's so trivial. I humiliated him because he didn't know that you spoke. Like, why is this a bad thing? Yeah, Natalie, this guy is the butthole. I completely agree. He's a butthole. Like, what? Why? Am I the asshole for not telling him? Yeah, kinda, a little bit. I mean, he could have asked. I think what he did is way worse. But I don't get why it's such a bad thing. Like, it's a good thing. Yeah, that's a standard Australian wedding. You've got to lick the toad in order for it to be legally binding. Um, I wouldn't lie to you people. Yeah, I'm with you, Az. I think both are wrong. I really do. I think both are kind of wrong on that count. I will do a poll. Oh, look, it's you know, streaming for YouTube is a trip. It really is. Um, uh, oh, it's really trilingualism, isn't it? And tapioca. What's a drop bear? What's a drop bear? Ah, that is a subspecies of koala. It hides in the trees and waits for somebody to come under. It's got a very, very strange hunting technique. It basically waits for its prey to walk underneath it, and then it sort of uses gravity as a mechanism to attack their prey. Um, which is a fascinating evolutionary mechanism. The only way to avoid a drop bear tapioca, I don't know if you're educated enough to know this, Dr. Tapioca Weasel. The only way to avoid drop bears is to put Vegemite behind your ears. Just a dab of Vegemite behind your ears will make the drop bears avoid you completely. And then you're safe in Australia because the drop bears are definitely the number one hazard in Australia. They are very famous, as well as the hoop snakes. So watch out for the hoop snakes as well, because Vegemite won't actually stop them. Made the boyfriend lick 3 times. Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. Look, the AI has already told me I may need psychological help today. I don't need you reinforcing it, big bad mama. Come on now. Come on. No, 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 not Marmite. Marmite will not stop them. That's bad information. Misinformation. Misinformation. No, no. Marmite is gross and disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. In fact, get out of this stream right now. Get out. Marmite. Marmite is English, Big Bad Mama. How dare you? How dare you reference the evils of the motherland? How dare you? Hi, Tux. Good to see you, mate. Pendeo is the perfect world given the con. Yeah. I think everyone's agreeing not the asshole. Dump the boyfriend, date the friend, and go dancing. Yeah, it's common in Europe for people to speak 3+ languages. Yeah. Yeah, so she knows German, English, Spanish. It's probably not even sort of, Mexican Spanish, probably Spanish from Spain, but, they're slightly different dialects, but can certainly speak and be understood in each of them. Yeah, he's the asshole to make dismissive assumptions. I kind of think, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I kind of think she's a bit of an asshole for not telling him, though. But it is weird that you've never told him you spoke Spanish. Yeah, I kind of admit that. Like, you could have just said, hey, do you know if there's any interesting? I mean, literally anything. Wow, that's just hurtful. That's just hurtful. I hope the drop bears get you, Pat. I really do. That's just hurtful. Um, there's a huge red flag. It kind of is. I don't know. I would see this as a funny story between me and a girlfriend kind of thing. Like they were literally speaking Spanish for months, and I just didn't ask about it. Like I would find it hilarious, kind of thing. Maybe that's just me. Yeah, so it's kind of split on this one in the Reddit, whether it's everyone sucks or not the asshole, or you're the asshole. Why'd you need to wait for him to ask you? Well, I kind of think he didn't show an interest in languages that she'd known, but I can't say he's an asshole for that, because that's just kind of coming from a country where people only speak one language or two languages. They're bilingual. They might not even cross their mind. You, ma'am, are a liar and malicious, and he should run. Oh, come on now, Reddit. Reddit, it's just like an overreaction thing. Like, it's just an overreaction thing. This could be a cute story. It's such a shame. I'm bummed by this one, because like, instead of fighting over it, could be a really cute story for a couple. Where's the love, people? Where's love? And speaking of where's love, I'm just being roasted in chat as per usual. So, there's that. That's a thing that happens now. Am I the asshole for cancelling on family vacation after my newly widowed mum decides to bring her new boyfriend? Well, maybe. I mean, if you don't want to be the third wheel, consistent truth. Why does that make me instantly suspicious when someone has the name Consistent Truth? That that username makes me instantly suspicious. But they did get a gold star for it, so okay, okay, okay. Oh, this looks like a long one. Don't tell him, but I'd watch Mark Viz being staring vacantly into space because I love the big lug. Oh, thank you, Big Bad Mama. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, is Mark Reed the asshole for not using dark mode when he browsed Reddit? Wait, I am on dark mode, aren't I? Isn't this dark mode? It's dark mode. What are you talking about? Oh, can you change Reddit to dark mode? Is this something that I've missed that I've got no idea about? I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't know. Profile? I don't know how to change it to dark mode. I don't. Are you punking me? Right there on what drop down? It's under theme. What do you mean theme? Look, no, look. Do you mean like in my browser? It's under theme. It's what theme in Reddit? Click that arrow when you went to settings. Settings in what? Settings in my browser or settings in? Wow. All right. Settings in my browser or settings in Reddit? Because my browser's on dark mode. Like I hate to break it to you. Like you guys suck at customer customer you know you're sort of just giving partial information. You suck at sort of IT support. You mean in my browser? Look, when I go into settings on my, it's obviously in dark mode because it's dark. See, it's dark. So if you're talking about themes, username in the top right. Dark mode. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now I've got to work back to where I was. Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. I just didn't know which one you meant in. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's life changing. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Trust me. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's all good. Thank you so much. I did not even know that was an option. So thank you. I really appreciate it. Um, so my dad lost his 1.5-year battle with cancer 1 year ago, at only 62 years old. That's really young. He and my mum were married for 31 years. The few months before my dad got sick, he and my mum were not on great terms and contemplating divorce. However, through my dad's diagnosis and extreme ups and downs of treatment, they came together, squashed some of their issues, and my mum was there to care for my dad every step of the way. Well, that's nice. That's nice. I miss him every day. Me and my mum had always been pretty close, but since my dad died, I feel like I'm seeing and talking to her less and less these days, and it makes me sad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. In August of 2022, 4 months after my dad passed, my mum started seeing someone. She'd call him her friend, slipping mentions of him into conversation, but personally, I want nothing to do with him. Still don't. I thought it was too soon, and Sol told her so. Okay, okay. So too soon. I don't know what that means. Yeah, as he put out, everyone grieves differently, and dating after losing a spouse is hard, but conversations I've attempted with this guy and the chemistry between them has been super awkward, in my opinion. Well, your opinion doesn't really matter here. It's her opinion that's what's important. I feel like she's disregarding any feelings or pushback that me, my sister, and extended family have about this relationship. Large extended family, all very close knit. She has now started bringing him to events and parties, and there is an awkward vibe when he's around. Nobody wants to say it out loud. Well, that's what your mum has decided. It is. Yeah, I kind of agree, Madman. It kind of makes him the arsehole. I did apologize to the chat. Look, I apologize for not having it on dark mode, but I don't apologizing at all and saying that the chat. No, I said you suck at leading people in IT. Like, what am I talking? Tech support. Tech support. Tech support. You don't just, yeah. No, I'm going to stand by that, Big Bad Mama. I'm standing by that. Technical support is hard, and you people need training on it. This past week, he showed up unexpectedly at a family Easter party at my parents' house. My mum knew he was coming and did not mention it to anyone. Following tradition, we stood in prayer before we ate dinner, and my uncle prayed out loud for those who we have lost. And I felt so awkward that my mum's boyfriend was there holding hands with my family as we talked about my dad in my dad's house almost a year to the day that he died. Look, that's you've got to come to terms with your dad being gone. I think that, like, I think that if it was me, and if your dad probably would want your mum to be happy. If I die, I do want my wife to move on. You know what I mean? Like, that if she's happy, then you know, so what? It's I'm gone. I think it's the idea that maybe it is the religion. Obviously, they're very religious. That you know, yeah, Pat, and I'm sure she'll do the same if you die, if not earlier. So that's fair. Um, I'm sorry, Pat. I had to do some sort of slap back at you. You've been hassling me all stream. I had to hit back somehow. Um, uh, Not to mention she had decided to let a day to save early to save money on flights. But now that her boyfriend was going, it will actually cost me more because we will no longer be splitting the costs that we originally planned, since they'll be doing things separately. Money is not the problem now. It's now principal to you. Ah. Of the 20 family members that will be on the trip, not one person really wants him to be there except her. He will be staying in the same condo that we are going to tiptoe around this awkward situation for the entire week while we should be relaxing and enjoying family time together. Am I the asshole for wanting to cancel on the family vacation and or stick to my guns about not wanting her boyfriend to go, even though she already booked his flight. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, yeah, kinda. Uh, have you been drinking or possibly licking toads? I'm gonna gather the latter here. Wow, that is, whoops. All right, I can't drive. Um, okay, so is are they the asshole? I think they are. I think that um yeah, people grieve in different ways, but it doesn't sound like I'd understand if he like treated her bad or um oh, I didn't do the last poll. Oh, the last poll blamed the boyfriend, which is fair enough to be honest with you. Um Arsehole. Yeah, I think that I think that you could be supportive. Like, it just sounds like you miss your dad, and that's completely understandable. But at some point, you've got to come to terms with maybe their marriage was on the rocks. Maybe the only reason they stayed together was a um Yeah, no worries, Pat. I get you, buddy. Maybe the only reason they stayed together was his critical illness. Maybe she stayed with him for that. We don't know. There's no context here, and context is king or queen or non-binary monarch of your choice. Like, seriously, they could have had the worst relationship, and she was on the way. We don't know, but it sounds like his reasons for um, wanting them to be apart and not how he's treating her or any kind of um sort of what's best for her, but rather how he and others feel about it. And that isn't a good reason for sort of, I'd understand if he was terrible to her, but he's not, or it doesn't say that he is, and you can't tell what happens between two people when you're not there, and maybe he's very supportive. Maybe that's what she needs right now. Maybe she just cannot deal with this alone, and maybe he is very supportive to her, and maybe that's what she needs. I think he is being an arsehole. I think he's being really selfish, and it's understandable because he has lost his father, but at the same time, the living still need to live. The living absolutely still need to live. So I'll put the poll out there. Feel free to vote and give back a response. But that I think yeah, you're the asshole. Yes, she stayed with him through cancer. Yeah, I kind of agree with uh Carolingian mess here. 1 year to grieve. Yeah, and so um let's look at this and say, well, when say my mother, we knew she was going to die before she died. She had breast cancer for the third time. She was in palliative care. You know, the it's actually kind of better because even though it sounds horrible, you can start that grieving process early. So when you say, oh, it's only been months and stuff. No, she's been grieving him for a long time, for 1.5 years, or maybe half a year while she's known that he is going to die. This is incredibly morbid, but yeah, yeah, no, I totally agree, Madman. I totally agree. Like, whoever somebody decides to love, and you might not like it, you don't have to like the guy. It's just I think that you've got to, if he's treating her badly, then absolutely he would have a point. Like, she shouldn't be with him because he is not good for her, or manipulating her or treating her badly or something. But it doesn't sound like that's what he's doing. He's just being with her. I don't see what your problem is, quite frankly. And it's none of your business. Maybe he is the best thing for her right now. Maybe it's the best for her well-being. And why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you blame me and this show for the general decline of human society? Fuck cancer with an unlubricated pool cue. Yeah, no, I agree with that sentiment. I'm going to upvote that one. Absolutely. Absolutely. So primary caretaker for some of the end of life, it was physically, mentally exhausting. Me too, I know exactly what you mean. People don't understand the mental toll it takes on you. I hate to say it, but it's kind of a relief when she passed. Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. You're allowed to feel relieved when somebody passes. That's all right. Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I get that. I get that. So is he the arsehole for cancelling on a family vacation? No, no, not really. Simply not the OP's place to judge. And yes, I get the hypocrisy of saying that on this sub, but I stand by it. Yeah, you're kind of judging, but you are consensually judging. You have the consent of the person posting it. These people put these stuff on there because they want to be judged. So I think that judging is bad unless you have someone's consent. If you're asked for your opinion, I think it isn't judgmental to give your opinion. That's fine because you're asked for it. But yeah, I get what the person's saying. That's kind of funny and ironic. Sure. Oh, as absolutely. They need to sit down and have a heart to heart. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I think that everyone needs to communicate more. Like half of these, well, half, more than half, like, 75% of these are just people not communicating. The last one was people not communicating. Tons of this stuff could be sorted out with people just communicating how they feel about things and sort of understanding one another. I mean, I hate to be a total hippie, but a bit of sort of, love and understanding would go a long way here. Oh, look, Lorraine, half of these are first world problems, mate. Honestly, half of these are first world problems. Like seriously, it's just should I cancel the Aspen trip that I've got going? I really want to ski, but my sister has been a horrible person about the $50,000 wedding dress. It's like, I mean, who really is this really a problem? First world problems, mate. Absolutely. You're the asshole. Yeah, a lot of people do agree. But I mean, if your mother's really into it, um, if your mother's really into this guy, would should ought you like sort of um ought you like um really ostracize them from the family? Because you're going to ostracize your mother as well. If she really likes this person, maybe. But you're sad about you not being closer to your mother. That's what the poster wrote. They're sad about not. Mhm. Oh, I'm so sorry, Az. Yeah, that sucks, man. My heart goes out to you. My sincere condolences, mate. I really hope you're doing okay, and um, Yeah, all the best. Yeah, my heart really goes out to you, as. Um, I wish there were words I could say that would, you know, um, alleviate the pain, but the pain is there because the love was there, which is one of those things about life. It's sort of a bit bittersweet. Oh yeah, that would have absolutely been horrible, mate. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I lost my dad a while ago as well, and yeah, it was sudden, and it was hard. It was very hard, and yeah, my heart goes out to you, mate. Now, why do my streams always get so morbid? They always get so morbid. I don't know why. Let's see. What'd you go? Those post as the asshole? Yeah, yeah. I kind of yeah. Yeah, yeah, no, I do understand the OP's pain. I do, as I really do, and I really feel for him. And I do understand why he's, resentful of somebody new. Like, that's totally understandable. At the same time, um, he's kind of pushing his mother away, and pushing, that away. So what's best for the well-being of his mother, I don't think he's actually doing that. Um, yeah, I think that his own well-being, he probably like, and if you are having trouble with life, you kind of need to see somebody, like, a counselor or something, which I did after my mother and father had died. I did see somebody. There's no shame, like, there's nothing wrong with being um having strong feelings after you lose your parents. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of to go and see somebody to talk about how you feel and how that relates to your life going onwards. There's no shame in that whatsoever. I wish more people would understand the benefits of psychological treatment, because like, why is it, and this is what I've asked before, why is it that we go, oh, technology is great, our understanding, our knowledge of things are great, we make all these advancements, we make advancements in medicine, we make advancements in, computing and all of these different fields, but for some reason we make advancements in psychology, psychiatry, sort of neurology and things like that, and we go, no, I'm not availing myself of that kind of thing. For some reason there is a, well, no, that's not for me because I don't have to do that. Why we wouldn't avail ourselves of our understanding of the mind through psychologists and psychiatrists is only a social stigma, and it is completely wrong. It's so wrong because, we have this better understanding of how the mind works, and we don't use it for ourselves because it might reflect badly on us. That doesn't want to make sense. Yeah, no, I totally agree, Madman. People don't want to be vulnerable. And they think vulnerability is weakness. You know, vulnerability isn't weakness. It is a strength. And yeah, well, I'm glad, as, and I think it's important as well. Oh, that's really good. Your mum, I wish your mum all the best. I completely, my heart goes out to her as well. I hope she does well, and I hope that's very useful for her. Oh, binge thinker, I'm so sorry. I hope it goes well. I hope he's really good. I hope he's really good. All the best, and good luck. But yeah, I just don't understand why we sort of use all of these medical treatments, but when it comes to the psychological side, we say, hey, all of the technology, all of the stuff we've learned, all of the studies and things, let's push it to one side because I don't need that kind of help. Everybody needs that kind of help. Everybody does at some point. And you're very lucky if you have friends and family to provide it for you. Yeah, I hear you, Az. I hear you. Okay, I'll do one more because I'm coming up on a couple of hours. I'll do one more. Yeah, totally, Blaster. Yeah, absolutely. Look, there isn't a man out there who hasn't cried at some point. Life's hard. Life's real hard. It can like knock you round, and this whole idea of big boys don't cry and don't feel emotion is is it's harmful. It's not helpful. It does not help the well-being of not just men but the population in general, because and this is just my opinion. In my opinion, that men have been taught that the only emotion they should show is sort of anger, and that's outright damaging. That's not good. That's not good at all. um, all that makes is just sort of people that are unable to express any emotion except for anger. And for a lot of men, that is the go-to emotion when they feel scared, when they feel, and it's not even a real emotion. It's sort of a secondary emotion based upon fear. So if you're in pain, you get angry. If you're upset, you get angry. If you're it's wholly damaging. And this is coming from somebody. I used to have sort of anger issues, definite anger issues, where just something that would make me even slightly afraid would sort of trigger a lot of anger. I thought you were going to burst into Everybody Hurts. Maybe. I don't think you want to hear me sing. I really don't. Look, much love to everybody. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You had the Sky Daddy Wizard to pray to, but um, the problem is that sort of you're putting off your life, just waiting on the next one. You're like, oh well, it's shit now, but the next life would be is going to be better. It's going to it's going to make up for all the stuff that's happening in this life. It's not a healthy way to look at things, and you're not dealing with reality. That's the problem, as and it's a very good point. It's a very anyway. Mobility over. Am I telling? Am I the asshole for telling my fiance my son must be named a real junior? What is a real junior? Oh, well, I haven't read it, man. Look, all of these, I'm seeing them for the first time. I do not create them. I do not. It is the it is just the naked reaction of Mark Reed to these posts. Quite frankly, I've never seen them before. Suggestion number 7432. I'll upvote. Yeah. Am I the arsehole? My fiance is pregnant. We found out it's a boy. We decided to make him my junior. My letter starts with the letter D, so his name is going to be D Junior. You know what? I'm going to say it's Dick. It's Dick Junior. My fiance said she can agree to name him my name, but doesn't want to add the junior on the birth certificate because she hates the nickname DJ, which my family has already started calling him. I mean, I don't. Since I got mad and said in order for him to be a real junior, he actually has to have junior in the name and to get over the nickname. I think having the option for both a full name and a nickname is nice, but she's refusing to include the junior into the name and said I'm not compromising. She got upset herself and said she already agreed to make him a junior by using my name and I'm an arsehole. I told her she's the arsehole and she doesn't want to include the junior all over a dumb nickname she doesn't have to use. Am I the asshole? I feel like this is fake. This doesn't seem real. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Beamsy. This is yeah. I don't know about this one. Naming kids is hard. I don't have kids, Lorraine, so I wouldn't know. I think um I don't know. Like I'm the type of person that would name my daughter Gretchen, kind of thing. So I think that like I would be terrible at it. I don't think you should be like Wesley Curry the second at all. Like seriously, don't don't do that. Don't in any way be like, yeah, I'm gonna call this one fake. I don't think it's real. Oh, that has an original post. That might be a bit long. Am I the asshole for making fun of my girlfriend for writing fan fiction and claiming it's actual writing? Yes, because it is actual writing. It might not be literature, it might not be published literature or published writing, but it's still writing. I don't. Hmm. I should ask Lynn that. She's gone out, but I should ask her. So my wife has a degree in writing. She's actually very good, or at least I think so. Am I the asshole? Yep. My girlfriend Abby, female 31, and I, male 33, have been together for a few months, and this Easter I was going to introduce her to my family. We haven't moved in together yet. Abby is quite smart. She has a PhD and works in her field. I only have a BA, so you can imagine my surprise when hot and smart woman wanted to date me. Okay, anyway, I digress. Well, that's a okay. So you decided to pause mid am I the asshole to flex basically. I, I'm feeling like this guy is an asshole already. To be honest with you, like what? Why? Why? Anyway, I digress. Abby's passion is writing, although she's never allowed me to read anything she wrote. Lynn is like that. Oh, yeah, no, my wife Lynn, she will not let me read anything until it's absolutely, you know, acceptable by her standards. She hides it. And I mean, I don't go trying to read it because I know that it would upset her. She is very, very, very secretive about that stuff until she actually says yes, it's good enough to read. She dreams of writing a book and says she's practicing and trying to draft things. One day I was staying. Oh, that's really sweet. Like she's got a passion for this and she's trying to. Like seriously, that's good. I don't think he's him flexing as much as trying to portray her as intelligent. Honestly, yeah. Well, yeah, I suppose so. One day I was staying over and fell asleep when she went off to office to write. When I woke up, I peered over her shoulder when she was writing and saw names that sounded familiar. I asked her about this, and sure enough, she admitted to writing fan fiction. That's okay. Apparently, she already wrote 1,000K fan fiction and is working on her third one. She says it's writing practice and she loves it. I told her it's cringy, and if she was serious about her book, she'd write it by herself by now because she's pretty much already wrote two books, if only they weren't fan fiction. Wow. My wife said you can read her papers. Okay, what are they papers on? We probably talked about this before, Blaster Master. Um, I can't remember. Was it a biology, some sort of biology paper? I think. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I think I remember our conversation about that, Blaster. She got silent and told me to leave her alone. Yeah, 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 yeah. One of them is on Street of His Mother. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Absolutely. Hey, you should be able to link it. If not, I'll rent you, Blaster, because I love you, man. Um, there you go. So if you want to link them, go for it, or just email them to me. I think you've got my email address. Um, when I introduced her to my family, I mentioned that she has a PhD. Like that is horrible. Like, do you just shit on your sort of, girlfriend's passions, and I just, wow, wow. Writing a book is not as easy as you think, you absolute asshole. Fit angle, fit angle. Okay, I really don't like you already. Yeah, no, I don't like you already. Yeah. Whatever you're happy with, Blaster Master. When I introduced her to my family, I mentioned that she has a PhD. My brother and sister got impressed and asked about it. Abby tried to tell them, but I interjected and told her not to be so impressed because she wastes her time writing silly. What the hell? So I don't know how she even got her doctorate. Wow, this is like negging her. It was meant to be a joke, but Abby was angry. She called me an arsehole. Yeah, you were an arsehole. She wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the day and asked me to drive her home. I tried to come in, but she told me she wanted to be alone and write her fan fiction. I told her she was childish, but left anyway. I haven't heard back from her since, and I told my sister, and my sister agreed with Abby. Yeah, I tried to call Abby, but she texted me with asshole and nothing else. My sister thinks I owe Abby an apology, but I don't think I did anything wrong, and yet Abby is annoyed. What is wrong with that person? What? Okay, I'm going to put up a poll for this, but oh my God, if you guys vote that he's not an asshole, I'm going serious questions about your sanity. Um, yeah, so okay, so fan fiction. Are you ever going to make money from fan fiction? No. No, you can't publish it. It's intellectual property kind of thing. Um, you can do parody, but significant amount of it has to be changed and stuff like that. There's a whole thing about it. Fan fiction is just not where you should go. Um, if you enjoy writing fan fiction, should you do it? Absolutely, absolutely. Go for it. I mean, who cares? It's what she enjoys. Who gives a crap? Dude, what's wrong with you? It sounds like one of those guys that just, if you're not making money off of it, and if you're not doing, if you're not in business with it, then it's not a real thing. You shouldn't be wasting your time. Who says her time's being wasted? Was I really the arsehole here? Yes, really, really, definitely. Um, she's practicing trying to draft things. Yeah, sure. She wants to write a book, and she enjoys doing fan fiction. It's not like it's not transferable skills. It's not like if you're writing a fan fiction, because like character generation is only one small part, and world building is one small part of writing a book. There's structure, there's format, there's all kinds of things that go into writing a book, and the only thing you're replacing is world building and character building, basically, because you've got them already in fan fiction. A lot of those things that you learn through fan fiction is absolutely transferable to normal writing. It sounds like you just think that if she's not doing it to make money now, then it's not useful. Turns out this is a fan fiction. Yeah, that would be ironic. That would be ironic. Maybe read it and surprise her. Yeah, no, I guarantee he has not read her fan fiction. I mean, I'd like to know what it is. Yeah, binge thing. I kind of agree, mate. This New Testament is an Old Testament fan fiction. I kind of agree. Yeah, yeah. Um, but I mean, yeah, thinking you're dating someone who has clearly broken up with you is certainly more cringe than writing fan fiction. Yep. You're the asshole. You can imagine my surprise when hot and smart women want to date me. We're surprised too. Yeah, yeah. I don't see why smart and hot women would want to date you. You're a jerk. 50 Shades of Twilight is fan fiction. Wicked is Wizard of Oz fan fiction. Dante's Inferno is Bible fan fiction. Lion King is a retelling of Hamlet, which is retelling the Norse myth. Yeah, no, I really do agree with that. Yeah, look, I get that they're saying that. Hey, um, like, okay. So let's. So um, Reddit sort of, they're on the right track, but there's a difference between fan fiction and, like, sort of, it's based upon the hidden fortress. No, that's not fan fiction. Fan fiction is kind of when you use the world and the characters of another thing. Like, if you're just writing a story based upon another, sort of world, then that isn't really fan fiction. It has to be set in the same world, essentially. Yeah, Stephanie Meyer. I'm waiting for this in the Am I the X? And it's already there. Okay. Not just that, the OP. Yeah, he brought up the PhD and then went to, like, that was negging behavior. Sort of, um that behavior where you basically go to somebody, um oh, they're a, you know successful athlete, but nobody cares about athletes anyway, kind of thing. Like, athletes aren't worth anything. Or, this whole idea of bringing something up that gets their positivity towards themselves up, and then negatively attacking it to cut them down. When she stood up for herself and said, hey, that's awful, he's like, oh, it was only a joke. That is horrible behavior. That is awful behavior. um why he couldn't just say, hey, she's got a PhD, it's amazing, it's really good. That's an amazing accomplishment in anybody's life, let's face it. Why? Yeah, I ugh, what a jerk. Sure, giant ass. Yeah, wastes her time. Maybe she doesn't waste her time. Maybe it's, look, time that you enjoy and is good for your mental health and is good for your sanity, and makes you happy, isn't wasted time necessarily. The only people that think like that are, major business capitalists who, if you're not making money, it is time wasted. If it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to make as much money as humanly possible, um that, yeah, you've wasted time in regards to that goal. If your goal is to have the best life that you can have, or have the happiest life, that's not necessarily um a a wasted time in regards to, um in regards to your goals, right? So, and here's the thing. here's the thing, and this was told to me, and it's absolutely, we've got studies saying it's true. Um, no, very few people get to the end of their life and say, "I wish I had more money," or "I wish I worked more," or "I wish I sort of, had this thing." People do say, "I wish I'd succeeded more," but a lot of the time, people in palliative care, we're back to death because this is a morbid stream. A lot of the time, people say, "I wish I had more time with family. I wish I enjoyed the people that I loved more. I wish I had." Gone to certain places or did certain things with the people I loved. Um, I'm statistically, that is the overwhelming thing that people regret in life, that they didn't spend more time with the people that they love and do the things that they enjoy and are passionate about. So I think that that sort of says that the things that we want in life are not necessarily, money and prosperity. That's a means to an end. It's a means to be able to do that kind of thing. So I think that, is writing fan fiction a waste of time? If you want a happy life and that makes you happy, then no, it's not a waste of time. That's it. It doesn't. Yeah, sure, go for it, big man mama. If that makes you happy, and happiness, and well-being is your goal, then that is not a waste of time. I dislike this idea that a waste of time is anything that isn't being, sort of making you money, or being. I mean, it's not even like the fan fiction. It's still productive. She's learning things about writing, which is what she wants to do. So it's not even non-productive kind of thing. So, um, yeah, I don't know. This one is what a gigantic jerk. It's sad that there's people out there who will say that kind of stuff and then, I don't understand why I'm a jerk. Ugh, it reeks of jealousy. It kind of does. How legendary the mental gymnastics must be. Alternatively, how imaginative the troll must be to decide, well, your PhD doesn't mean anything because you write things that I don't like. Yeah, yeah, and you can kind of, the religious people use that mental gymnastics all the time. They basically say, hey, this person is, secular. That's why they can't be right. There's nothing about being secular that means that you have to be wrong. But the mental gymnastics that they do. Yeah, I think this one, everybody is on board, and it's quite frankly horrifying to think that um, you know, he doesn't realize. Well, yeah, okay. So this is like one of the first ever, if not the first ever, 100% agreement. That guy's a dick, right? 100% agreement. Well, I'm glad we came to a consensus on something. Glad we came to a consensus on something. Okay, so that was the last one. It's been a couple of hours, so I feel like I'm at time. That was really fun. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. The toad thing was a bit weird, but hey, that's what we're here for. Let's face it, we're here for conversations that get odd. So, yeah. Blaster Master, thank you for sending that through. I definitely will read it. Has it been published, or is it not published yet? Is that a published paper? Asking for a friend. Um, It doesn't look like it, but this might be sort of the raw final submission. I certainly will look through it. If I feel like it, I might do something on it. Interesting. Very interesting. Socratic questioning. Yes. I don't know if anybody here is Trying to publish it for publication. Okay. Oh, polish it publication. Okay, so it's like final draft kind of thing. Is that what we're talking about? Oh yeah, I would love that. I should be starting up interviews again. I've been very slack on interviews and things like that, so I really do have to start them up again, and sort of interview people, as I really do enjoy talking to interesting people, and we've got an amazing amount of interesting people in the community that I'd love to talk to. So yeah, Blaster, I think I've got your email address. I'll drop you a line. But yeah, if not, send me an email on my email address. It's in the about section of my YouTube. So we can get it. So we had a number of successes. We've got ChatGPT to give us citations for flat Earth, and we've sort of identified that's what Austin Whitsett is doing, is getting an AI to generate citations that do not actually exist. We have totally pinpointed that if you hassle your PhD girlfriend for writing fan fiction, you are 100% a total jerk. That is set in stone. That has been confirmed today. Absolutely confirmed. Absolutely. And we have confirmed that toad licking is not a good idea. Really not a good idea. But it's so good to see you, everybody. Much love. And there has been a little bit of drama in our community. I've generally avoided it. I don't like going into drama, so I apologize if you expected a big thing. I generally don't. I just want to support everybody in our community, and I think a bit of healing and sort of communication in our community wouldn't go astray. I think that people should sit down and talk to one another. In a reasonable way, and come to some understanding of where each other's coming from. Having said that, there are people that sort of are not engaging in good faith, that they're just trying to make the drama because that's what they enjoy. So I think that this drama has possibly, I think it's not. It's sort of been stirred up for one reason or another. So they can do that if they want. I generally don't take the bait. Be honest with you. So I don't really mind. It's fine. It's fine. I'm good. Have you asked the toads? They might like being licked. Well, since the poison is actually a defense mechanism, binge thinker, I can't imagine any situation where somebody liking something would actively poison the person doing it in an attempt to kill them. So not really. No one's asked the toads though. Why are we? Don't ignore them. Don't ignore the toads. But as I always say, be kind to yourself, be understanding of yourself, and be kind to each other. And I hope everything goes well. I really do. There's a few things, as I hope you're good, and my condolences. I really want to give the best to everybody. But take care. Much love.